with homosexuality, bisexuality, and heterosexuality, considering that overarching research shows that anything between 5 and 15% of the population worldwide fall outside the strict, heterosexual classification. I'm looking at a question by Tetefi Afate, who says that premarital sex brings so many health hazards. Well, it's interesting. I say, premarital sex. It's almost as if to say that, marital sex does not have that, or extramarital sex doesn't. He wants to ask what the main health hazards for homosexuality and lesbianism are or is, and does this help at all? What are the causes? Once again, so lots of questions, but mine is on the myths. The myths, not the not the lack of information, but the pervasive disinformation, if you know of any.
Yeah, the myths that like I'm born that way, I was born like that. There are myths that say that homosexuals have a reduced lifespan. These are myths.
These are myths.
Yes, but sometimes you look at your statistics, and you look at the fact that because of the kind of exposure they have, because of the kind of, let's see, we're looking at HIV/AIDS, we're looking at human papilloma viruses, you are looking at anal cancers, you are looking at the extremes of depression. These people, most of them are depressed because they cannot really come out with their true sexuality. They usually stay back to themselves. They are depressed. They might have suicidal tendencies. And because of this, you can imagine, or you can even think that their life expectancy and their life span is likely to be shortened. I mean, statistics and research says that their life expectancy is reduced by as many as 20 years. Again, the myths are that their deformities, they may be deformed, or they may have problems during intrauterine life. People are born with chromosomal abnormalities. People, instead of a man being XY, as we all know, I mean, some people are born with XXY, a three combination instead of two. People are born with XYY, or people are born with XO. We have syndromes like Klinefelter syndrome, Turner syndrome. These are syndromes that somebody may be born with. But obviously you realize that these people may, even physically, may not look that normal like you would expect a normal person to look. But then you look at the population of people who are...
How would you define normal? Pardon me for interrupting.
I'm
saying this because one viewer is questioning, I don't know whether it's my sexual orientation or yours, but judging by our looks and by the tone of our voices and the topic, asking... Is he one? I don't know what it says, Eric or him, but I'm just saying this, how do you define normal? Because someone looking at us and listening to a conversation can judge us simply by the way we look, the way we dress, and the way we talk. Okay,
I'm talking of physical looks because of the kind of chromosome abnormalities with which people are born with. They don't have a normal, what we call genome whereby the man has XY. That makes
but how does this manifest in everyday in layman's terms? How does one know, or
for example, somebody with Turner syndrome is a female, may look extremely short, may have webbed digits or something that may not make the person even that much, in quotes, appealing. Somebody who is XXY may not have full masculinization of themselves. But what I'm saying here is that if you look at the population of people out there who are homosexuals, you see them that they are physically well nourished, well, good looking, just like anybody. So then you cannot connect that to the intrauterine problems that may have gone on. People who may have chromosomal abnormalities during
children and young people, quite a number of times you made reference to a 23-year-old man and to a secondary school boy.
Yes.
Now, how big a risk is this, especially when we look at the fact that we have so many same-sex schools, and the fact that this is heavily stigmatized, so it's very difficult for people who engage or are homosexuals to reach out and ask for help and advice?
Yes, it's interesting, but this young one that is in secondary school, when I asked him questions, he said nobody in his school knows. He practices at home. So when he goes to school, I asked him, so what, your other male, and even him at the age of 17 has 2 sexual partners already. And so when he's back in school, you can imagine that they also go out and to other male partners. It is generally, research has also shown that in the lifetime of a male homosexual, they are likely to have slept with hundreds of men in their lifetime. So that's why the sexually transmitted infections are even more pervasive in their small communities. Now, it becomes difficult in our youth to be able to detect and help unless they come forward. For example, this young man, I wouldn't have been able to get it if the grandmother hadn't said it. I would have seen it, though, probably has a skin infection. Let me try and treat the skin infection. Until the grandmother said that, no, there's something else he hasn't told you.
Okay. You've been in practice since 2005 when you graduated from the medical school.
Yes.
So in the 8 or so years, can you give me a ballpark figure of the number of people that you've met and treated who told you that they were homosexual and who suffered from some medical condition that was a direct result of their sexual orientation or behavior?
I've met quite a number, several.
How many? 10, 20?
I would say about 10.
About 10.
There are some that I remember vividly well because of the interactions we had. One came with symptoms that looked like stomach ulcer. Later on, he called me to find out whether his problem is due to... He confessed to me that he wants to tell me something that, look, I am this.
So that's a little over one a year.
Yes.
That's a little over 1 year. So, so most people who are stigmatized in any way at all are naturally not predisposed to exposing themselves or to coming out and asking for any kind of help, even medical help. So what is, what is the medical community doing and the scientific community doing to reach out to this significant percentage of the population?
Yes, it's about how we approach these people, how we talk to them, by making them not feel we stigmatize them, because as my job is not to say that because somebody is homosexual, I won't treat the person because I detest it. No, my job goes beyond that. Whoever, be it Buddhist, gay, lesbian, whatever, religious, whatever,
Hindu, Christian, Muslim.
For me, it doesn't matter. I need to take care of your
You're
health.
a doctor. You've taken your Hippocratic oath and you just want to help people.
Exactly.
Thank you very much.
I do that without stigmatization.
Thank you very much, Dr. Dennis Botte. Thank you very much for passing through and for sharing your knowledge and experience on the topic.